did you get the nickname Scooby, and what did it feel like for your high school friends to be like, who the hell is Philip?
Yeah, so growing up, they used to call my grandpa Big Phil and my dad Little Phil. But my grandpa, he's like, I don't know, 5'7", like 150 pounds, 160 pounds soaking wet. My dad's like 6'1", 6'2", like played fullback, played guard in Long Beach State back in the day. So he's big billboard back type of guy. So when he was growing up, they used to call my dad Little Phil. And then when my dad started growing up and stuff, people would call the house, like, hey, can we talk to Big Phil? And then they're like, who's Big Phil? Who's Little Phil? So when I was a baby, my dad was like, screw it, I ain't dealing with that. Your name's Scooby. It was Scoob. And then my sisters just started calling me that. And then before I could even remember, it was Scooby. And then, yeah, high school graduation, they said, Philip Anthony Wright III, walk up. Started walking up, and everybody's like, what? Yeah, like my college degree from U of A says Scooby Wright on it. All my firefighter certificates say Scooby Wright on it. So, yeah, it's my name, but it's on my driver's license, says Philip. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you kind of brought up a point there about your CV that I think is important. Firefighter.
Yeah.
And dabbling in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Is that understood?
Yeah, and a little Muay Thai too.
Okay, yeah. So I'm telling myself here for a little bit, okay? I won a national powerlifting championship in high school, right? Okay. I go to learn to fight, learn to be an octagon, pick a couple fights. I'm much better on my feet than I am on the ground. So I'm going to ask you, which is more difficult, right? Learning to be a firefighter, getting somebody out of their guard, right, in jiu-jitsu, or meet somebody in the hole?
100% running into a fire, because when there's people dying and stuff could get fast quick, and there's a lot of, I remember one time we were drilling in my academy and there was a door that was locked and we were doing a live burn inside a Connex box and the door was stuck for a minute. And I remember I was sitting there like, yo, are we going to be good? I looked over to the little 5'3" girl named, like, homie named Jamie. And she's like, yeah, we'll be okay. And I was like, yeah, I became, my man attributes went up that day, if you catch my drift. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that. And that's scary. Running into a thing, like running into a house on fire, that's scary. I mean, going into a fight, somebody knocked down, going and get ready to go to a Muay Thai fight. I mean, or a jiu-jitsu match. I mean, you have to be mentally right. You can go out there and get embarrassed. Mm-hmm. In football, I mean, there's 100 and some plays a game. If you miss one, it is what it is, but you just got to make up for it. And hopefully it doesn't affect the game too much, but you always try your best, you know?
Says the man who's still thinking about the picky drop playing linebacker against the Breakers. You know, I'm gonna put that out. But like, no, seriously, dude, you have had a journey basically since coming into college, right? Yeah. So I was explaining before we started the taping that I'm the type of guy who watches football. I love this league and I love the stories of this league, and it's my privilege to tell them. But I'm built for this in that I will watch football from the moment that we got Big Noon on until we got Fresno State playing BYU or whatever at 1 a.m. in the morning. So I would watch Vontaze Burfict do more or less what you are doing with the mic'd up portions of the USFL, which is to talk noise. Like, my favorite picture over here in the studio is Vontaze Burfict pointing over of a defensive lineman, offensive lineman, to Matt Barkley going, I don't even know what he's saying, but I'm going, give me that. And he went to the NFL, became an all-pro, going, man, Pac-12 is about to be just okay again. Nope, here comes Scoob. Scoob showed up to go tackle everything that moved. Did you have a favorite linebacker growing up, and was it more about what their attitude was as opposed to what their play was?
Yeah, so growing up, I was a huge USC football fan. That was my dream school, was there in Boise State. And I remember I had the poster of Brian Cushing, Clay Matthews, and Ray Maluga hanging in my room.
Yikes!
That cover where they're all sitting there all jacked up and stuff. That I had that hanging in my room whenever that came out, when I was like 10, 12 years old, till the day I graduated high school, went to U of A. So, I mean, just kind of seeing that every day, and those are probably my three favorite linebackers probably ever, those three guys, just by the way they played. And it was cool because they're all different, you know.
I also remember that Cushing was slept on, right, from that trio, because we were all looking at Maluga and we expected him to be the dude, and then here comes Clay, who turns into that dude with Green Bay. And then it's like, I don't know about Brian, because shows up at Houston, turns into being one of their best linebackers ever. So that trio of linebackers for Pete Carroll and whatnot, I remember them as well. I mean, that just pocket of USC is ridiculous. And our director is a USC alumnus, so I hear about it more often than I would care to, being an Oklahoma fan. But I get you on that, and that's pretty cool. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 Ranked Show YouTube channel.